There comes a moment, my dear, when your kindness begins to bruise your own soul. A moment when your heart, so eager to open its doors to everyone, starts to feel like a house left unlocked, emptied out by people who never meant to stay. You wear your smile like a shield, but behind it is a quiet ache. Because being too friendly in a world that often forgets to love back, it costs you. Somewhere along the way, someone told you that to be loved, you had to be liked. That to be accepted, you had to say yes when your spirit whispered no. That to belong, you had to soften yourself until nothing sharp was left to protect you. And now you find yourself drained, giving and giving while others take without even asking your name. But listen closely, child, there is a sacred strength in boundaries. There is holy power in knowing when to stop smiling, when to stop nodding, when to stop showing up for people who only show up to use you. Being warm is beautiful, but don't let them set fire to your kindness and call it love. You were not born to be everybody's comfort. You were not put here to make others feel good, while you slowly fade into the background of your own life. Stop letting the world sip from your soul as if your light is a free fountain. No more. You deserve respect without having to earn it through overextending. You deserve peace without having to pretend you're okay with everything. You deserve to be known, not just as the nice one, but as a human being with boundaries, fire, and worth. Let's talk about it, because sometimes the road to healing starts with a single truth. Being too friendly can be dangerous when it means you're never truly seen. So now, let's walk into the light of clarity. And here's what you must remember. Let me share with you the deeper truths. These are the lessons no one taught us in our youth. Here's what your spirit needs to hear today. There is something deeply beautiful about kindness, something pure and untainted that can change the atmosphere of a room, lift the weight from someone's heart, and bring light to a darkened day. But there is also a shadow that lingers over this kindness, a quiet, subtle danger that many of us fail to see. When you give your kindness freely, without care or boundaries, you risk it being taken from you, not as a gift, but as a means to an end. I know how it feels. You open your heart to others because you believe in the goodness of the world, because you see potential in people, because you long to be the warmth that soothes and the smile that heals. You think, if I can just be kind enough, if I can just give enough of myself, others will see me and love me back in return. But that is not how the world works, my dear. The truth is, kindness, when extended without care, becomes an invitation for others to take without giving. It becomes a door left ajar for people who never intended to honor you, but simply wanted to walk right through. When you give too much of yourself too easily, you send a message without realizing it. You teach people that they can take from you without a thought, without consideration for what it costs you, without ever thinking about what you need in return. The heart that gives too freely can be emptied, drained of its goodness until it is nothing but a shell, a husk of the love and light that once flowed so freely. And the people who took that kindness from you without gratitude or acknowledgement will walk away without a second glance, leaving you wondering where all the energy went, where all the love went. They took it without ever having to give back, and you were left standing, empty and unseen. asking yourself why you did not recognize the signs earlier. You must understand, my dear, that kindness is not a currency to be spent without thought. It is a sacred offering, Dr. Angelou, that should only be given where it is respected, where it is nurtured, and where it is returned with the same care. When you give too much to people who do not value it, it becomes a burden, not a blessing. It becomes something that pulls from you rather than something that lifts you. And soon enough, you will realize that your kindness is not the gift you thought it was. It is a chain, holding you to people who only take but never give. This is not to say that kindness is a weakness, my dear, or that we should close our hearts and harden ourselves against the world. That is not what I am saying. The world needs kindness. The world needs people who are willing to offer love, to extend compassion, to give of themselves in ways that make the world a better place. But you must also understand that kindness has its limits, it has its boundaries, and you must be the one to set them. If you give without caution, without protecting your own well-being, you risk becoming nothing more than a vessel for the needs of others. People will take and take and take until there is nothing left of you. They will take your time, your energy, your love, and leave you with an empty heart. They will take your kindness as if it is their right, as if you owe them something for simply being who you are. They will take, and you will give, and you will lose pieces of yourself along the way. This is why it is so important, my dear, to recognize the signs of when you are giving too much. Angelo, there are people who will only come to you when they need something. Angela, they will take your time without offering anything in return. They will take your love and never think to give it back. They will take your energy and leave you exhausted, drained, and unseen. And yet you will continue to give because that is what you were taught to do. You were taught to be kind, to always say yes, to always be there for others, no matter the cost. But kindness, when given freely to those who do not appreciate it, is not a gift. It is a sacrifice. It is the laying down of your own needs in favor of someone else's. It is the surrender of your own worth in order to make someone else feel better about themselves. And in the end, you will realize that you have given so much of yourself that there is nothing left for you. You have poured yourself into people who never once asked, "How are you?" You have poured yourself into people who never once thought to ask if you needed something in return. And you have poured yourself into people who took everything you had, and still they never gave back. You must learn, my dear, to guard your kindness as a precious treasure, not to be handed out carelessly, but to be offered where it will be valued, where it will be cherished, and where it will be respected. You must learn to say no, to set boundaries, and to protect your own heart. Because when you give too freely, when you give to those who do not appreciate it, you are only teaching them that they do not have to give anything in return. You are teaching them that they can take from you without ever considering your needs, your heart, or your well-being. And that, my dear, is not the way love works. True love, true kindness is reciprocal. It is a dance of give and take, where both hearts are seen, both hearts are cherished, and both hearts are nourished. You must learn to give where there is room for you to receive, and you must learn to walk away from those who are only there to take. So protect your kindness. Guard it fiercely. Offer it to those who will value it, to those who will return it, and to those who will nurture it in the same way you do. Do not give to those who do not see your worth. Dr. Angelou, who do not respect your heart and who do not care about the toll your kindness takes on your soul. Because, my dear, kindness is not a weakness, it is a strength. But when you give it too freely, it becomes a tool for others to use against you. And when that happens, you must walk away. You must walk away and reclaim your heart, your energy, and your love for yourself. You are worth so much more than the empty promises of people who only take. One of the deepest and most painful truths in life is this: we teach others how to treat us by the way we treat ourselves and the way we allow ourselves to be treated. The way you show up in the world, how you set boundaries, and what you accept from others is a reflection of how much you respect and value yourself. We often forget this, my dear. We get caught up in the desire to be liked, the need to be accepted, and the longing to fit in. We bend ourselves into shapes that feel unnatural, hoping that others will see us as worthy of love and respect. But in doing so, we often forget the most important lesson of all: respect. True respect begins within. If you find yourself in relationships, whether personal, professional, or casual, where you feel unseen, unheard, or unappreciated, look inward. Ask yourself, what have I taught these people about how to treat me? What messages have I been sending, perhaps without even realizing it, that have led them to believe they can take me for granted, use me without returning the favor, or walk all over my boundaries? When you tolerate disrespect, when you allow people to walk into your life and leave their marks on you without ever acknowledging your worth, you are, in a sense, teaching them that this behavior is acceptable. Angelo, you are telling them that you are a door that can be opened and closed at their will. You are telling them that your time, your energy, and your presence are available whenever they need it, regardless of whether they give you the same in return. And if that is the message you send, they will take it and run. They will take more than you have to give, and they will continue to take until you have nothing left. And even then, they will not see the pain they caused. They will simply move on to the next person who will allow them to treat them the same way. When we don't stand up for ourselves, when we don't honor our own needs, when we don't demand the respect and love we deserve, we teach others that it's okay to ignore our feelings, to dismiss our boundaries, and to expect us to put others before ourselves. We teach them that our happiness, our well-being, and our time are secondary to theirs. We teach them that we are a source of endless supply, always available, always accommodating, always willing to give more than we have to give. But, my dear, you are not meant to be someone's endless resource. You are not here to serve others at the cost of your own happiness, your own peace, and your own self-respect. And if you find yourself constantly drained, constantly feeling unappreciated, constantly feeling as though you are giving more than you are receiving, it is time to stop and ask, what have I been teaching these people? What have I been allowing? You see, love is not a one-way street. Respect is not a gift that should be handed out sparingly. It is a right. You have the right to expect respect, to expect kindness, to expect people to show up for you in the same way that you show up for them. But if you continue to accept behavior that belittles you, disrespects you, or takes from you without ever considering what you need, Angelo, you are teaching others that this is all you are willing to accept. You are teaching them that your love, your energy, your care is available for free and without limit. And when you do this, you devalue yourself, you erase your worth, Angelo, and in doing so, you give others permission to treat you in ways that make you feel small, unseen, and unworthy. You teach others how to treat you by the way you treat yourself. If you allow people to walk over your boundaries, if you let them use your time without considering your needs, if you give of yourself without expecting anything in return, you are telling them that you do not value yourself enough to demand respect. You are showing them that you will tolerate behavior that does not align with your worth. And because they see this in you, they believe that it is okay to take. But here's the truth: you are worthy. You are worthy of love, of respect, of kindness, of all the good things that this world has to offer. You are worthy of people who treat you with the same love and respect that you give to them. Angelo, you are worthy of boundaries that protect your peace, of relationships that give back as much as you give, and of friendships and partnerships that honor who you are and what you bring to the table. The lesson you must learn, my dear, is this: you must teach people how to treat you by the way you treat yourself. You must set the standard for how you expect to be treated, and you must hold others accountable when they fail to meet that standard. When you allow yourself to be disrespected, when you accept behavior that does not serve you, you are not teaching others to treat you well. You are teaching them that disrespect is acceptable and that you are willing to tolerate it. And make no mistake, the way others treat you will never exceed the standard you set for yourself. If you expect little from yourself, if you treat yourself as though you are unworthy of love, respect, and kindness, then others will reflect that back to you. If you expect nothing but negativity and disrespect, if you allow others to drain your energy and take advantage of your kindness, you are showing them that this is all you deserve. But when you set high standards for how you are treated, Angelo, when you value your own worth, when you demand respect, others will rise to meet those standards. They will see that you are not a door they can open at will, but a gate that must be treated with care and respect. Angelo, they will understand that your love, your time, and your energy are precious, and they will treat you accordingly. The key to teaching others how to treat you lies in your own self-respect. You must value yourself first. You must show up for yourself first. You must set boundaries that protect your energy, your time, and your peace. When you do this, others will learn, consciously or unconsciously, to respect you as well. So ask yourself today, what have I been teaching the people around me? Am I teaching them that I am worthy of respect, love, and care? Or am I teaching them that it's okay to take, to use, and to walk away without considering what I need or how I feel? If the answer is the latter, it is time to change the way you show up for yourself. It is time to set new standards, to teach the world that you are worthy of love, respect, and everything that brings you peace. It is time to show others how to treat you by the way you treat yourself. Because when you do this, you will create relationships that are balanced, fulfilling, and full of mutual respect. You will teach others that you are worthy of being seen, heard, and loved. And that, my dear, is the greatest gift you can give to yourself, that there is a great power that resides within you, a strength that can light up the darkest of rooms, a warmth that can melt the coldest hearts, and a spirit that has the ability to heal the broken. But not everyone deserves access to that energy. You see, your energy is sacred, and it is not something that should be given away without careful thought and consideration. Just as a delicate flower needs sunlight, water, and care to thrive, your energy needs to be nurtured and protected in order to grow and flourish. If you allow others to take from your well without replenishing it, eventually you will find yourself drained, exhausted, and empty. There is a misconception in this world that we must give our energy freely to everyone, that we must always be there for others no matter the cost. We are taught from an early age to be selfless, to put others first, and to be the one who always shows up. While there is great value in being there for the people we love, it is equally important to recognize that not everyone deserves access to the best parts of us. There are those who will come into our lives and only take from us without ever giving back, without ever acknowledging our needs or our worth. The energy you radiate is not infinite, and it is not meant to be distributed indiscriminately. It is not a commodity that should be given away to people who do not understand its value, people who do not recognize the responsibility that comes with receiving your light. When you allow others to take fake from you without reciprocation, when you give of yourself to those who do not appreciate or honor your energy, you are doing a disservice to yourself. You are giving away pieces of your soul to people who will not care for it as you would, people who will not protect it the way you would protect your own heart. And in the process, you are left with less and less until one day you realize that there is nothing left to give. Not everyone who asks for your time, your love, or your energy is worthy of it. There are people who will only come to you when they need something, who will use you for their own gain and leave you feeling empty once they are done. There are those who will take without ever considering what it costs you, without ever thinking about the toll it is taking on your soul. These are the people who will never give back, who will never show up for you when you need them, who will never honor the love and energy you have given them. They will take your time, take your attention, take your affection, and leave you wondering where your light went. But you must learn to discern who truly deserves your energy and who is simply there to drain it. You must learn to say no to those who take without giving, to those who expect you to be always available for their needs, and to those who do not recognize the value of your time. Your energy is a gift, and it should be shared with those who will cherish it, who will nurture it, and who will give back in return. When you give your energy to the right people, you will find that it grows and multiplies, that it flows freely without depleting you, because it is being met with the same love and respect that you give. But when you give your energy to those who do not value it, it will drain you, leaving you tired and worn out, unable to keep up with the demands they place on you. You must learn that it is okay to say no, that it is okay to protect your energy, and that it is okay to reserve your light for those who truly appreciate it. Saying no does not make you selfish, it makes you wise. It makes you someone who understands the importance of self-care, someone who understands that your energy is a finite resource and that it should not be given away freely. You must learn to prioritize yourself, to take care of your own needs first, and to guard your energy against those who will deplete it without a second thought. It is not always easy to say no, especially when we are conditioned to please others, to be the one who is always there, always giving, always available. But you must remember that you are not obligated to give your energy to anyone who does not honor it. You are not obligated to be there for people who only show up when they need something, people who never consider what you might need in return. Your energy is precious, and it should not be wasted on those who will never value it the way it deserves to be valued. When you protect your energy, when you choose carefully where to invest your time and love, you will find that you have more to give to those who truly matter. You will find that you have more to give to yourself, more to give to your dreams, and more to give to the people who show up for you in the same way you show up for them. Protecting your energy is not about being cold or distant. It is about preserving your light so that it can continue to shine brightly. It is about creating boundaries that honor your worth, boundaries that ensure you are not giving away pieces of yourself to those who do not deserve it. You must also recognize that some people may not even realize they are taking from you. They may not see the toll it takes on you to constantly give, to constantly be available, to constantly show up for them without ever asking for anything in return. They may not realize that you are pouring from an empty cup, that you are sacrificing your own well, being in order to meet their needs. And while it is not your responsibility to fix them or to teach them how to value you, it is your responsibility to protect yourself, to recognize when your energy is being depleted, and to take steps to preserve it. It is also important to remember that not everyone who takes from you is doing so maliciously. Angelou, there are people who genuinely do not understand the impact of their actions, people who do not recognize that they are draining your energy. And that is where the power of boundaries comes in. By setting clear and firm boundaries, you are teaching others how to treat you. You are showing them that your energy is not limitless, that your time is precious, and that your love and care must be met with the same respect and consideration that you give to others. When you protect your energy, you are not just protecting yourself from the negative influences of others. You are also honoring your own worth. You are recognizing that you are deserving of relationships that are balanced, where both people give and receive in equal measure, where both people show up for each other in meaningful ways. You are creating space for the people who will value you, for the people who will love you without draining you, for the people who will lift you up instead of pulling you down. So, my dear, remember that not everyone deserves access to your energy. It is a precious gift, and it should be shared with those who will cherish it, those who will protect it, and those who will give back in return. You are not obligated to be available to everyone, to give to everyone, or to care for everyone. You must learn to protect your energy, to prioritize yourself, and to choose the people and the situations that are worthy of your light. And in doing so, You will find that your energy will never run dry. It will only grow, and it will continue to shine brightly for those who truly deserve it. There is a quiet power in peace, a sacred stillness that transcends all of the noise and chaos of the world. In a world filled with distractions, demands, and then constant stimulation, the ability to maintain your inner peace is a gift beyond measure. And yet, many of us allow others to disturb this peace, often without even realizing it. We allow the words, the actions, and the emotional turbulence of others to seep into our souls, to disrupt the calm that we have worked so hard to cultivate. But what we fail to realize in these moments is that peace is not something that should be taken for granted. It is something that must be protected, cherished, and preserved at all costs. Once lost, it can be a difficult thing to regain in a society that constantly pulls us in different directions. It can be easy to give in to the pressure of being everywhere, doing everything, and pleasing everyone. The demands of work, family, friendships, social obligations can sometimes make it seem as though our peace is something that we should sacrifice in order to meet these expectations. But the truth is that your peace is priceless. It is the foundation upon which your well-being, your happiness, and your strength are built. Without it, you cannot function at your highest potential. Without it, you become a shadow of who you truly are, caught up in the turbulence of external forces and other people's dramas. You have the right to peace. You have the right to guard that peace with every fiber of your being. You have the right to say no to people, situations, or circumstances that threaten to disturb your tranquility. Too often, we give our peace away to others, whether intentionally or unintentionally, by letting their negativity, drama, or demands intrude upon our sacred space. We become so caught up in trying to fix, help, or accommodate others that we lose sight of our own needs, our own desires, and the most precious thing we possess, our peace. But your peace is not a commodity that can be bartered away or traded for temporary comfort. It is not something that should be exchanged for approval, for love, or for acceptance. Your peace is a reflection of your inner strength and your deep connection to your own soul. When you allow others to disturb it, you are giving away a part of yourself, and you are compromising your ability to live a life that is fulfilling and true to your deepest self. There will always be people who try to pull you into their chaos. There will always be individuals who thrive on drama, who feed off of conflict, and who are willing to do whatever it takes to create turmoil in your life. These people may not even realize the harm they cause, or perhaps they simply do not care. But you must recognize the power you hold in choosing not to engage with them. You must learn to set boundaries that protect your peace, to walk away from situations that threaten your serenity, and to distance yourself from people who seek to disturb the calm you have worked so hard to create. Your peace is not something that can be easily regained once it has been disrupted. Every time you allow someone to take your peace, you lose a little bit of your own inner strength. You lose your ability to think clearly, to act with intention, and to stay grounded in who you truly are. The longer you allow your peace to be disturbed, the harder it becomes to find it again. You begin to feel overwhelmed, stressed, anxious, and disconnected from yourself. the noise and the chaos start to drown out the quiet voice within. And you lose touch with the wisdom and clarity that comes from being at peace with yourself. It is important to remember that not everyone deserves to share in your peace. Not everyone deserves to have access to the calm and tranquility that resides within you. Some people, intentionally or unintentionally, will try to disrupt your peace in order to satisfy their own needs or desires. Angelo, they may do this through their words, their actions, or their behavior. And while you cannot control the behavior of others, you have full control over how you respond to it. You can choose not to engage with the negativity they bring into your life. You can choose to protect your peace by walking away from toxic situations, by refusing to take on the emotional burdens of others, and by creating boundaries that honor your need for calm. Peace is not something that you can find outside of yourself. It must come from within. It is a state of being that you cultivate by choosing to let go of the things, the people, and the situations that cause you stress and anxiety. It is the ability to stand firm in who you are, to trust in your own inner wisdom, and to maintain your sense of calm no matter what is happening around you. But in order to protect your peace, you must first acknowledge its value. Angelo, you must recognize that it is not something that should be taken for granted, and that it is not something that you should allow others to disrupt without consequence. The journey to protecting your peace begins with self-awareness. It begins with understanding that you have the right to say no, to set boundaries, and to prioritize your own well-being. It is about recognizing that not everyone who comes into your life has your best interests at heart, and that some people will try to manipulate or control you in order to get what they want. It is about understanding that you are not obligated to take on the emotional baggage of others, and that you do not have to fix their problems at the expense of your own peace. You must also learn to recognize the warning signs of when your peace is being threatened. These signs may come in the form of anxiety, frustration, anger, or a sense of being overwhelmed. You may feel drained, exhausted, or mentally scattered. These are all signals from your body and your mind that your peace is being disturbed and that it is time to take action. When you begin to feel these emotions, it is important to pause, breathe, and assess the situation. Is this situation or this person worth the cost to your peace? Is it worth the emotional toll that it is taking on you? If the answer is no, then it is time to walk away, to distance yourself, and to reclaim the peace that is rightfully yours. Angelo, in a world that is constantly pulling at you in different directions, it is crucial to remember that your peace is non-negotiable. It is not something that should be compromised in order to please others or to meet the demands of society. It is something that you must protect fiercely because it is the foundation of your mental, emotional, and physical health. When you protect your peace, you are protecting yourself, your well-being, and your ability to live a life that is true to who you are. So remember this, your peace is priceless. Do not let anyone disturb it. Do not allow others to take from you what is sacred and vital to your happiness. Set boundaries, walk away from situations that threaten your peace, and surround yourself with people who value and protect the calm within you. Your peace is the key to living a life of clarity, strength, and joy. Protect it with all of your heart, and never let anyone take it from you. There is a profound truth that many of us struggle to grasp, a truth that has been buried beneath layers of societal conditioning and the constant desire for approval. Your worth is not defined by external validation. It is not determined by the opinions of others, by the praises or criticisms that come your way, or by the fleeting measures of success that the world around you deems important. In a world that is obsessed with status, appearances, and superficial measures of achievement, it is easy to fall into the trap of believing that your value is something that must be earned, something that must be proven through the approval and recognition of others. But the truth, the raw, unshakable truth, is that your worth has always been and will always be intrinsic. It comes from within you, from the very core of your being. No one has the power to define your worth except for you. When we look to the outside world for validation, we are seeking something that is transient, something that is always subject to change. The opinions of others are fluid and often influenced by their own insecurities, beliefs, and biases. The praise you receive one day may be replaced with criticism the next, and the recognition you earn today may be forgotten tomorrow. If your sense of self-worth is dependent on the ever-changing tides of external validation, you will find yourself constantly adrift, tossed about by the winds of others' opinions. You will be at the mercy of a world that is often inconsistent, judgmental, and harsh. And in this place, you will lose sight of the incredible, unwavering value that lies within you. It is easy to become consumed with the need for external approval, especially when we live in a world that constantly reinforces the idea that success is measured by what others think of us. From the moment we are born, we are taught to seek approval, first from our parents, then from our peers, our teachers, and eventually society at large. We are conditioned to measure our worth by the standards set by others, and we are often made to feel as though our value is only valid if it is recognized and acknowledged by those around us, whether it is in the form of a promotion, a compliment, a like on social media, or a pat on the back. Angelou, we are taught that our worth is something that must be validated by others. But the truth is that external validation is fleeting and unreliable. It is something that is often given conditionally, based on how well we meet the expectations of others or how closely we conform to their standards. External validation is not a true reflection of who you are. It is merely a reflection of someone else's perception of you. And while external validation may feel good in the moment, it does not provide lasting fulfillment. It does not nourish your soul or empower you to live authentically. It is simply a temporary boost, a quick fix that leaves you empty once the attention fades away. True worth, on the other hand, is not something that can be given or taken away by anyone else. It is something that is inherent in who you are, something that is as unshakable and eternal. Your worth is not determined by the job you have, the car you drive, the house you live in, or the number of people who like your posts on social media. Your worth is defined by the love you give, the kindness you show, the integrity you uphold, and the strength you embody. It is defined by your ability to rise above the challenges life throws at you, to stand firm in your beliefs, and to walk your path with courage and authenticity. When you learn to recognize that your worth is not dependent on external validation. You free yourself from the chains of comparison and judgment. You no longer need to measure your success or happiness by what others have or what others think of you. You no longer need to seek approval or confirmation to feel good about yourself. You can walk through the world with the quiet confidence that comes from knowing that you are enough just as you are. You can embrace your uniqueness, your flaws, and your strengths without needing anyone else to tell you that you are worthy. The desire for external validation often leads us down a path of self-doubt and insecurity. We become consumed with the need to be liked, to be accepted, and to fit into the boxes that society has created for us. We become afraid of rejection and failure, and we start to mold ourselves into what we believe others want us to be, rather than embracing who we truly are. In doing so, we lose touch with our authentic selves and disconnect from our true source of power. We become so focused on pleasing others that we forget to please ourselves. But when we begin to realize that our worth is not defined by others, we begin to reclaim our power. We start to embrace our individuality and celebrate the things that make us unique. We stop looking for external approval and start seeking internal validation, the kind that comes from within, from the quiet knowing that we are enough just as we are. This shift is not only liberating, but it is also empowering. When we stop seeking approval from others, we are free to live authentically, to follow our own path, and to make choices that align with our true values and desires. The journey to self-acceptance and internal validation is not always easy. It requires courage to step away from the expectations and judgments of others and to embrace the truth of who we are. It requires vulnerability to let go of the need for external praise and to trust that we are worthy, regardless of what anyone else thinks. But it is a journey worth taking, for in this journey we discover the incredible strength and beauty that resides within us. We learn to love ourselves unconditionally, to honor our worth, and to live a life that is true to our deepest selves. One of the most powerful aspects of recognizing that your worth is not defined by external validation is that it allows you to stop comparing yourself to others. In a world that is obsessed with competition and comparison, it is easy to fall into the trap of measuring your success against that of others. But when you realize that your worth is unique to you and that it does not depend on how you measure up to others, you free yourself from the cycle of comparison. You no longer feel the need to compete or to prove yourself. You simply live in alignment with your own truth, and you let go of the need for approval or recognition. This shift in perspective also allows you to release the fear of failure. When you are no longer seeking validation from others, you are free to fail without fear of judgment. You can take risks, make mistakes, and learn from them without worrying about how others will perceive you. You can walk your own path, knowing that your worth is not determined by your successes or failures, but by your courage to keep moving forward, to keep striving, and to keep growing. As you begin to embrace your intrinsic worth, you will also start to attract people and experiences into your life that align with your true self. When you stop seeking validation from others, you become a magnet for authentic relationships and meaningful opportunities. You will find that the people who truly appreciate you will come into your life, and that the experiences that resonate with your soul will begin to unfold naturally. This is the beauty of living from a place of internal validation. You stop chasing after what you think you need, and instead, you start attracting what is meant for you. So, my dear, know this: your worth is immeasurable, and it is not something that can be determined by anyone else. You do not need to seek approval, recognition, or validation from the outside world to know that you are worthy. You are enough just as you are. Your worth comes from within, and it is a light that no one can dim. Embrace it, honor it, and live your life in full alignment with the truth of who you are. As you journey through life, understanding the importance of setting boundaries and preserving your peace, you begin to realize that your worth is not some to be proven through the eyes of others. It is something intrinsic, something that exists deep within you, waiting to be acknowledged and celebrated. When you stop seeking external validation and recognize your inherent value, you become free. Free to live authentically, to pursue your true passions, and to make decisions based on your own principles and desires. You no longer need the approval of others to validate your existence, because you understand that you are worthy simply by being. Embrace your uniqueness, embrace your flaws, embrace your strengths. Allow your worth to come from within, for that is where your true power lies. When you stop seeking validation and start affirming your own value, you are walking in your truth. And when you walk in your truth, you unlock the doors to a life filled with self-love, fulfillment, and authentic connections. Remember, your worth is immeasurable, and it is not determined by anyone else's standards or opinions. You are worthy because you exist, and that is more than enough.